Good morning. I am at Natalie's house packing up. Our stuff is in the garage, so take a look at this mess I have. So most of my stuff's in my backpack, so I'm saying goodbye to my tried and true trusty Z-Packs Arc Scout. And I'm saying hello to my Hyperlight Unbound 40. It looks so massive. So right now I'm gonna I might pack this up, get another picture with it, and then repack it all in there, just because I don't know if I've been intentional about taking a good picture with this backpack on my back, and I've used it for over half the trail, so kind of want to do that. Yeah. Okay, look at how crazy destroyed this backpack is. So all the threads have been coming off, and actually probably for a very, very long time, but I started using this bag liner, which made it so the threads weren't really annoying. But yeah, basically not waterproof at all anymore. And then also just completely just falling apart. I feel so proud of myself for using it up to this to this point. I got its whole life out of it, and it could probably keep going, but then again, this looks like it's about to burst. And not to mention all the Dyneema tape I've put here over the years, because I use this backpack on the PCT and then some on the CDT, and then also on the Wonderland Trail and on the Pacific Northwest Trail section hike I did. It has had a long life. I took it to Europe. I did a lot of my traveling. I'll just use this backpack. So just very happy with it, but I'm also so excited to have a new one. This is so well worn. I feel like it belongs in a museum or an antique shop or something. No. Or I don't know.
I'm waiting for your
Wow. Whoa, look at this crazy spider. He crawled on the other side of the hole. I am to the top of the climb out of town, out of Duncannon, about a little over 4 miles in. I had a really great morning. I was up at 5. I edited 2 videos, did the thumbnails, and exported, uploaded. So those are ready to go out. So I'm ready for this next section. So that's really good. I was just really present with Natalie and John and Finn and Coyote, and so I really just didn't have time yesterday to get the editing done, especially with the live that I did. Wow, I'm currently at the top of a rock scramble. Here's this, and then it's way down. I tried to wait for a moment to start this when I could actually talk and walk. This is, let's see how I can get down here. Also, my new pack, I need to be careful with how it protrudes. Oy. Okay. Here, going here. Ugh. Oof, there's something over my head. Wow, this is kind of crazy. yeah, so, okay, I just made it over there, so hopefully it'll pause on the Crazy Rock Scramble, but it's actually kind of been like that for a while since I've gotten to the top. Has been kind of gradual and rocky. So yeah, anyways, I was up at 5 this morning, edited, and then had coffee at 6 and did a tiny bit of journaling, then breakfast with everybody, bagels and fruit, and that was very delicious. And then I had to like repack my new backpack and get it all situated, and then Natalie drove us to the trail. So I said goodbye to Finn. Hopefully we see her again. And Natalie and John were just so amazing. Like, I feel so taken care of, and it was just really, really, really nice to be in their company and to hear all their like stories of hosting different people. And yeah, it was just really great. So thank you so much, Natalie and John, for hosting me and Coyote, and so many other hikers. Yeah, so drove back to the trail, got dropped off at something outdoorsy, and then it was like a 2-mile walk next to the highway, but mostly on a sidewalk. So it didn't feel too unsafe, but the cars were so loud. Like, you can even hear the cars right now, and we're up on the ridge. So it was like kind of just a little unnerving because I'm not used to being in that much traffic for that long and having it right in my ears. I was like, whoa, I've been in the woods for a long time. Even though you go in and out of town, but still majority of the time is walking from Georgia to Maine. So got through the highway section. I saw a really cool little spider, and then started the climb. So it was pretty steep, but also full of switchbacks. So that was nice. My poles are sticking up, so I keep having to be careful, and there's so many things overhead today, more than normal. So it's funny because I'm just like aware, like I don't want it to pull me back. But yeah, I made it to the top of this little climb. It's 11 now, so definitely a much later start than normal, but lots of very productive, and just overall really good. I have a like 70 something mile section to the next place where I'm gonna resupply. So it's like 3 days, hoping to do around 25 today, but we'll see. And yeah, my pack, when I left this morning, this new pack, it is like the frame part of it, sorry, it's falling. The pack itself is, I don't know, maybe at least, maybe even a pound more than my other pack. Just the frame, because my other pack was like disintegrating and it was just so light. And I think this one's like moderately light because it does have an internal frame. And the Dyneema is like really thick and durable. So it is heavier itself, but I don't think it'll be, I'll have to look up to see if it's like half a pound or a full pound more than my other pack. But out of town with like 3 full days of food, and probably too much food. Like I could probably squeeze 3.5 or 4 days out of all the snacks that I brought, but my pack was 30 pounds with all the food, so tons of food, and then 1.5 liters of water. So I I've been kind of going on and off with like using my hip belt with my other pack. Like I've been wearing it without my hip belt a lot lately. I don't know if that was just like from being on antibiotics last week and kind of just feeling like not wanting anything like pushing down on my stomach. Or I don't know if it's just feeling better on my legs to be bearing the weight more on my shoulders. I don't know. So I've been kind of going on and off with using the hip belt and not. And so like about half the time today, until when we started climbing, I buckled the hip belt, but I was just wearing it on my shoulders, and shoulders felt totally fine without the hip belt. But I know 30 pounds is like way too heavy for, you know, for not using a hip belt. Just kind of something I'm trying out. Also, I've been enjoying just like having my poles stored. I just haven't, I've like most of this hike, like I've just been carrying them. Like I don't use them that much, and they're really good for water crossings and for sketchy terrain. But the majority of the day, most days, isn't too sketchy, and there's no real water crossings. So I think I'll probably end up pulling them out again at some point soon, because I think the terrain is gonna get sketchier, and having the extra arms support will be good. But I've been enjoying having them packed up and not using them. And then yeah, so that's kind of the long morning update. Thank you so much for attending the live last night. If you did, if you weren't able to make it, it's up on YouTube, and so check that out. And we'll see if all this fog burns off. Right now it's felt really good because it's not too hot and it's not raining, so that's perfect. So feeling good. Wow, amazing view. Oh my goodness. Whew. Woo! Spiderweb. That is a massive bird. Yikes. I think I'm gonna sit up here for a little break. Whoa. Blech. Okay, so we were notified like last week that there was a burn area we might have to skip. I think that this is it. But it didn't say anything about it being closed still. And the trail looks great, even though, whew, heard something. Is there a snake? I don't think so. Even though it smells so bad. Wow, look at all this charred. This is crazy. I can't believe how big this fire must have been. I mean, not it's like an out west fire, but I think it was a controlled burn. I'm pretty sure, but I don't know for sure, actually. But yeah, I was just making a video clip, and then my sister was calling. So I was gonna talk about her, and then she was calling, so that was awesome. But she made a really great YouTube video, and you should definitely check it out. Her channel's called Money with Maggie, and she makes financial videos, and she just really believes in like the power of getting out of debt and growing your wealth, and like all of her ideas have really shaped my relationship with my finances, and a lot of which are like foundational in being able to come out here, you know, and spend this time. So anyways, check her out. Also, right before she called, after I had taken my break, I ran into a hiker named Mossy. That's a pretty great name because I love all the moss out here. But he was super nice, and he said he watched some of my videos. He's like a local, and he does this section. It's like a weekend warrior. in this area on trail and looked like he was having a real nice time. So nice chatting with him and meeting someone new. Now just kind of navigating the rocks, enjoying this ridge, and yeah, that's a little update. Buzzing power lines. Oh, it's like 2 p.m. and I'm feeling really drowsy. Almost like I need another cup of coffee or something. And then I was thinking like, oh, I think I only got like 5 or 6 hours of sleep. Was up kind of late after the live, and then I was up at 5, but I think I actually woke up at 4, and then I couldn't really fall back asleep. So then I just like laid in bed kind of awake, so oof. Maybe I just didn't get enough sleep today, but I mean, or it could also just be like the heavy pack. Like, haven't had 3 days of food on my back in a while. Because even when I left town on this last stretch, I had 4 days, but I didn't have enough food, and so I kind of think that I have even more than that for this stretch, and it's only 3 days. So yeah, this is the reality out here. Just still walking, making slow progress, but feeling like Peter's Mountain Shelter. Whew. Yeah, the next shelter is 18 miles away, so definitely going to be camping, but it's supposed to be a thunderstorm tonight, so hopefully we'll get to test out my tarp skills, and hopefully I stay dry. First real water source of the day. I mean, passed by a couple other ones. It's the first time I'm getting water. And it looks like it's a pretty nice flowing spring. Random, but yeah, ooh, yay. Whoa, look how orange this is. Apparently it's all from iron from the railroad that's like above railroad tracks. And the water's still good to drink, but it's just turned everything orange. But we don't need any water, so I don't think we're gonna test it out. Whew. So I think we got to camp and look at the sunset. It's beautiful. Just need to find a place to tent. Someone left some peanut butter there randomly. So, Okay, so none of my stuff is in it, but I got it all set up. It's supposed to rain and thunderstorm tonight. So this will be my first like heavy rain test with the tarp. I hope it goes okay. This part of the tarp is still kind of high off the ground, but not too high, maybe like 5 inches, 4 inches. Honestly, I didn't do much research on how to stay dry in a tarp. So that wasn't very smart of me. But we'll see. Really low to the ground on this side. None of my stuff's in there, obviously. So, gonna unpack. Sunset vibes, very beautiful. Well, I'm in my tent, or in my tarp, and all ready for bed. I had mac and cheese for dinner. I've been shooing away ants and spiders. So we'll see how tonight goes. I don't think I put my ground sheet on an anthill, but there have been ants, and then the trees are kind of squeaky, and so I hope the wind doesn't get too bad, because there were definitely some like decently sized branches nearby that had fallen from the trees around here, so I feel a little nervous about that. But overall, just ready to get some sleep and call it a night. So thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. This rain is pretty scary. I'm kind of scared of a branch falling on my head. It's like a little before 2 a.m. and all of a sudden it just started downpouring and I couldn't get my door closed or my tarp. Hopefully it stops.